PowerLift is a program that teaches people how to lift correctly. We need to realize that everything we lift is merely weight. Whether it's a tool at work or your children at home, back problems are sure to be the result if improper technique is used. We need to realize that it's not necessarily what we lift, rather how we lift it. The techniques we currently use are most likely learned from our parents. That being the case, people will generally have the same outcomes in back health as their parents. And for some people, that's a scary thought. The technique a lot of people use, the back lift, is one that puts us at a distinct mechanical disadvantage because of the length of the lever arm we create. This makes the load actually heavier than it needs to be. Another serious problem is the damage that can be done to the ligaments of the back in this position. The weight of the load, your upper body weight, and the repetition at which we lift are all factors that can lead to back problems. We may execute 10, 20 lifts in the morning just getting ready for work. In that time, that repetition and wear causes the ligaments to tear and produce scar tissue. You may have been taught the deep squat technique. This technique is designed to help keep a neutral spine when lifting. Besides offering a very narrow, uncomfortable, unstable base position, this technique puts our knees in a position to take a lot of unnatural stress. Once people try this technique, they conclude rather quickly that it is an awkward technique which actually makes lifting more difficult. Why not try a power lift technique that promotes the essential aspects of a neutral spine but puts you in a stronger, more stable base position, allowing us to use less effort to lift the load? This position eliminates undue stress on our lower back and our knees. The mechanical advantage produced by this technique is very apparent the first time you try it. Because we are reducing our lever arm, we are actually making the load physically lighter. This, in turn, makes it much easier to lift. The PowerLift system doesn't just focus on one lifting technique, rather a number of techniques that can be used in different situations at home and at work. We also introduce the concept of bridging your weight to relieve the pressures that are often put squarely on the lower back. Different people use different lifting techniques. You can usually spot the technique that poses the greatest potential for injury. Can you spot the power lift technique in this photo? Some of the techniques taught in the PowerLift program are similar to techniques taught in athletics. It doesn't matter what sport you're in, you are taught to keep a wide, stable base and to keep a neutral spine. This allows you to be as efficient, as strong, and as safe as possible. Aren't those the things we want for our workers on and off the job? So often we are concerned about the weight of objects we are lifting. We need good lifting technique when we're lifting light objects as well as heavy ones. Proper lifting technique is a must in the weight room. Why should it be so difficult to realize the same need outside the weight room? Golfers may lift 100 times a day. Have you noticed the technique they use? If it works for golf balls, shouldn't it work for light objects that we lift from day to day? If only we were taught proper lifting technique in preschool, we would know no other way to lift. Unfortunately, we learn the lifting techniques of our parents, and in most cases, some very bad habits. It's never too early to start lifting properly, and it's certainly never too late. PowerLift is a change in your attitude in regards to lifting. PowerLift teaches techniques that are easy and actually make sense. Give your people the opportunity to experience the PowerLift program firsthand. The back is a terrible thing to waste.